teens, a happy Thursday. My name is Miss Amelia and I'm from the Polk County Public Libraries, and today I'm going to show you how to use our cake decorating kit. So if you stop by the Columbus or Saluda Library and you have your library card with you, we have several things other than books that you can check out at the library. So with your library card, you can check out cake decorating kits, cake pans that are in all different shapes. We even have a dinosaur one, or we have donut cake pans that you can check out. So really cool things. We even have hot chocolate bomb kits that you can check out and learn how to make hot chocolate bombs at home. So you can check those out with your library card. And today I'm going to show you how to make icing that you can use in the icing decorating kit that you can check out. All right, so when you get your kit, it will have a couple of things inside. It has an instruction sheet and it has a supply list that tells you everything that's included in your kit, and there's a lot of stuff. For example, there are 36 different icing tips that you can use, and they look like this. They're all nice and neat and organized, and they each do their own special thing with icing. So you can make a lot of cupcakes and try out all these different icing tips. And there's also some instructions on the inside of this folder that comes with it, and a guide that gives you some ideas of different things you can do with the various icing tips. All right, so other than icing tips, your kit also comes with some icing bags that we're going to use in just a little bit. It comes with some other tools as well that you can use to decorate a cake or decorate cupcakes. And like I said, today we are going to decorate cupcakes. So these are to be used on cakes to get a nice even layer of frosting. There are big tips included in this kit as well. So if you were to practice icing on a large cake, you could use these tips, and that would be a lot of fun too. So we will walk through using all of these cool things that come in the kit that you can check out with your library card as we make frosting in this week's video. So the recipe that I'm using for this week's frosting is called Easy Vanilla Buttercream Frosting, and I love frosting. So this is a recipe that you can try at home, and it's very easy. I'm going to do it on this video with you. And you're going to need a couple of different ingredients. You're going to need some butter, approximately 1 stick of butter, some vanilla extract to give it some flavor. You're going to get powdered sugar, which is also called confectioner's sugar. And we're going to use shortening. This is vegetable shortening. We're going to use a couple of teaspoons of milk. And just for fun, we're going to put some food coloring in ours. Now, my directions do not call for food coloring, but we're going to add some bright colors to our cupcakes today. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to add to my blender right here, this is actually a food processor. So if you don't have a blender at home, you can use a food processor. It does the same thing. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my half a cup of butter. So half a cup of butter is approximately 1 stick of butter, and that looks like a lot, but we're going to put the whole thing in our food processor. I'm going to kind of cut it up with a spoon, that way it's not so hard for the food processor to process. All right, some different chunks in there. And when you finish this recipe, you will have approximately 2 cups of icing to work with. Okay, so if you need to make more or make less, you could either double your recipe or cut your recipe in half. All right, so we've got our butter. We're gonna add our 4 cups of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar next. And this is a whole new bag of sugar, so I am sure it will get everywhere, but that's okay. All right, so I cut a little hole in it, if that'll help me. Okay. And this is a 1 cup measuring cup. So I'm gonna put 4 of these in our food processor. it smells so sweet. 2. 3. And 1 more will give us 4. Now with any recipe that you make, you will probably need to clean up your kitchen afterwards because as you can see, my powdered sugar is going all over the place, and that's okay. All right, so there are my 4 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm gonna set this over to the side and our butter over to the side. And I'm going to add in our teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, this does not have to be pure vanilla, but if you have pure vanilla at home, that also works. This is just to give it a vanilla flavoring. Okay. So good. All right. I'm gonna put in 1 teaspoon. And I'm gonna use that same teaspoon. There are 3 teaspoons in a tablespoon, and my recipe calls for, let's see, 2 tablespoons of milk. So I'm actually going to put in 6 teaspoons of milk. Okay, so that's the equivalent of 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is all of our milk that we need. And let's see, so we have our butter, our powdered sugar, our milk, vanilla extract, and now we have to add in our vegetable shortening. You will need half a cup of vegetable shortening for this recipe. And I'm gonna go ahead and spoon it into our half a cup. Kind of press it down with the back of your spoon. That way it fills up the entire cup. And just a little bit more. Okay, so that is our half cup. Oops. And I'm going to put that into our food processor too. Oops. Kind of brush it off in there. You can kind of use your spoon and your measuring cup to scrape any extra off, which is good. Okay, a little bit more. Okay, close enough. All right, so now I'm gonna put all of this in the processor and turn it on. And I'm gonna put my lid on and make sure that the lid is locked if you're using a food processor. So I've got it locked in. I'm going to turn it on high and mix it together. All right guys, we're back and I have made our first round of vanilla frosting. Now I'm going to add some color. I'm going to pick green and put it in. I've put 3 big spoonfuls of the white icing in this piping bag. And I'm going to show you how to make the piping bag in just a second with our green icing. So if you don't want all of your icing to be the same color, you can scoop out a little bit and then add in your food coloring. So I'm going to add in a bunch. And let's mix it back up. And this color is going to be really pretty because it's a nice spring green. And I'm going to show you how to make your icing bag. So inside your kit, you have an icing bag and you have this plastic piece, and this is called a coupler, okay? Or a coupler. It could be a coupler or a coupler. Anyway, there are two pieces to it and it screws together, and we're going to use that to work with our icing bag. If you were to make a big cake, there is a big coupler and a bigger icing tip that you would use. So that is in the bottom of your box. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the two pieces of the coupler, and I'm going to open my icing bag, and I'm going to put this part of the coupler down towards the bottom. All right, and I'm going to look and see where that first ridge is located, and that's where I'm going to cut with my scissors the bottom of the bag. So I'm going to scoot the coupler back, cut it across. Okay, so now I've got just this part sticking out, and I'm going to take the remaining ring and screw across the no, I'm not yet. No, I'm not. I'm going to put the tip on next. And so I'm going to pick out a really pretty tip to use with our green icing, and this one kind of looks like, let's see, you know what, I might do, this is so hard. There's really pretty ones. All right, I'm going to do this one because it looks like a star. So I'm going to put this tip on the bottom, and now I'm going to add this ring on top. And this is going to hold your icing tip in place. Okay? For this next part, you will need somebody to help you put the icing inside the bag. So Miss Jen is going to come over and give me a hand. Hello, Miss Jen.
Hello.
All right, so would you like to scoop the icing? Sure. Hold the bag. Okay. I'm going to roll down the bag a little bit, and she's going to scoop the icing into it.
Yeah, definitely easier if you have somebody to help you with this part.
And fun tip, any icing that's left in your food processor or your blender, you get to eat because you are the chef. All right. So just like Miss Jen did, we're gonna put all of our icing, push it down towards the bottom, and we're gonna twist the top of our bag. You can see I've got some icing coming out the top, and that's okay. You can wipe that off with a paper towel, or you can just leave it there. And now we're ready to put icing on our cupcakes. And this is gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm gonna scoot over a bit so you can watch. And I've got white and green to work with, okay? So the first cupcake, I'm gonna put green frosting on, and we're just gonna see what happens, okay? I'm gonna start from the inside and work out. Okay, there is my first cupcake, and I hope that you're better at this than I am, but there are different tips that you can use for putting icing on your cupcakes. All right, my next one is going to be primarily white, and I'm going to start on the outside of this one, and I'm going to work my way inside. I'm not sure which way is the proper way, but we're just going to give it a go.
I was taught to start on the outside. No!
Okay, so that can happen. And
so in the case that does happen, you would just grab another icing bag. We won't do it right now. We'll finish with the green, but these icing bags are a little cheaper, so you would go ahead and just put your tip on this one, and then just dump all the icing in there. So don't waste your icing. But sometimes the bags do break. Blooper video.
all right, so I'm going to finish this one up with some green frosting. All right, so you can keep going with the other cupcakes and try your hand at using all of these tips when you check this out with your library card.